Interior, Avengers Compound, Lab, Night. The lab is a mess of overturned equipment and scattered schematics. A single, broken monitor flickers erratically, casting grotesque shadows. Bruce Banner is slumped in a chair, head in his hands, looking utterly defeated. The heavy door hisses open, and Black Panther enters, his vibranium suit subtly reflecting the dim light. He surveys the destruction with a calm but deeply troubled gaze. And then a sudden earth-shaking crackle of thunder precedes Thor's entrance. He walks with a heavy step, Mjolnir dragging slightly against the floor. His eyes, usually vibrant, are clouded with profound sadness.
It was supposed to work. All of it. The calculations, the energy signatures. It was flawless.
Banner, the tremors, they're affecting Wakanda. Our energy grids are failing. What precisely occurred here?
I tried to fix it, T'Challa. To rewind the clock. To undo the snap. Just a small window. A precise frequency. But it fractured. Everything.
Oh, fractured. The Bifrost, it shimmers with an unnatural light. Even the stars seem to weep. What fix could cause such cosmic despair, Banner?
I saw glimpses, Thor, of worlds where they all came back, where we won. I thought if I could just nudge the timeline.
And instead, you've unleashed chaos. The universe bends under the weight of your what if.
Every action has a consequence, Bruce. Especially when tampering with the very fabric of existence. What are these fractures? What is the true cost of your gamble?
Echoes. Of futures that will never be. Of realities that are tearing apart because I just wanted them back. I just wanted a different ending. And now I don't even know if there is an ending.
Then we must face this new beginning, Bruce, together. But first, you must tell us everything. The true nature of this damage.
And scene. Woo, baby. All right, welcome back, true believers, to the penultimate stage of our monumental quest. The air is crackling with anticipation as we arrive at the semi-finals of the first ever Infinity War Saga Cup, where only 4 cinematic titans remain standing in our bracket to crown the best movie in the Marvel Infinity Saga. From an initial field of 23 films, we've whittled it down to the absolute elites, and now the stakes couldn't be higher. For these crucial semi-final matchups, our format is designed for ultimate scrutiny. In round 1, our 3 dedicated hosts will take the reins, meticulously weighing the pros and cons of each film. They'll dissect every narrative choice, every character beat, every visual spectacle, forming their expert opinions on which movie truly deserves to advance. Then, in round 2, the tension will be palpable as our 3 hosts cast their decisive votes. The film that garners the majority will punch its ticket to the grand finals of the Infinity Saga Tournament. Get ready for some deep dives, passionate arguments, and the thrilling reveal of which 2 films will battle for the ultimate title. This is where legends are made, and only the strongest will survive. Let the semi-finals debate begin! Alright, fellas, we have made it! After an incredible end to round 3 with the MCU Money in the Bank, great idea, Liam, we have landed in the semi-finals. The 4 films of the semi-finals, coming in with the top seed, the number 2 seed, Marvel Infinity War. Then, we have the number 3 seed, Guardians of the Galaxy. Then, we have the number 6 seed, Captain America the Winter Soldier, and the wild card, coming back after being bumped out in round 3, the wild card, Avengers Endgame. There are your 4 films in the semifinals. So tonight, we have the top seed. The top seed in the semifinals, the number 2 seed overall, Avengers Infinity War, is taking on the wild card, which was the 1 seed before it got bumped. Taking on the wild card, Avengers Endgame. And the winner goes to the finals, Daddy. I cannot wait. It is going to be a hell of a battle. It's been an incredible tournament. Ups, downs, lefts, rights, and throughs. This has been the best format we've done thus far. I love every second of it, and I would just love to get into the first round. I would love it. But I can't. I can't. Burn, I can't.
Wait, Matt, what do you mean you can't start? We have a huge show here tonight. We gotta get down to business. I mean, this is a real problem.
I mean, there's something that has to be done, and I know it has to be done. I don't know what it is.
Well, I'll be goddamned if I know. Liam, any suggestions?
I think we're looking for the tail of the tape.
All right, prepare for the ultimate heavyweight clash in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Here's the tail of the tape for the Avengers Infinity War and the Avengers Endgame. Here we go, Daddy. All right, here we go. Release date. Avengers Infinity War release date, April 27th, 2018. Avengers Endgame release date, April 26th, 2019. So 364 days later, 1 day less, almost a year to the day. All right. Runtime. Avengers Infinity War runtime. 2 hours and 29 minutes. Avengers Endgame runtime. 3 hours and 1 minute. Yep. Hitting that sweet spot. Film budget. Avengers Infinity War is $400 million. Avengers Endgame also $400 million. Opening weekend box office gross. Avengers Infinity War, $257.7 million. Opening weekend box office gross. Avengers Endgame, $357.1 million. Opening weekend box office gross. Almost $100 million more in the opening weekend. And then worldwide box office gross. Avengers Infinity War, $2.048 billion in worldwide box office gross. And then, unbelievably, coming in at over $700 million more, Avengers Endgame, $2.798 billion in worldwide box office gross.
Good
Both
Lord.
films directed by the Russo brothers. It's crazy to think it made $700 million more. I mean, I think Guardians of the Galaxy made $700 million total, and that was considered such a massive, like, mega hit.
Yeah, and if a movie makes $700 million, you look at it as like a
it's a
success,
monster. It's a monster.
and
And
it's just so insane, dude.
To
It
think
really
that
is.
to think that Endgame made $700 million more than Infinity War, that's wild. To
Which
think
was
about that.
which was also good for a bill. There was a B.
Two bill.
There was a B.
Two bill.
But I mean, like Infinity War, there was $1 billion after what it grossed, and it still had $700 million less. That's wild.
Think about that. Almost another $1 billion more, right? Like, we're staring down the gun barrel, another Billy. I mean, but think about that, dude. Almost $5 billion in revenue in 1 year, in 2018, 2019. Big year for old Marvel.
Two movies.
Not to mention Black Panther hit a Billy, right? This is phase 3. Civil War was in phase 3. Black Panther was in phase 3. Oh my, phase 3 was hitting all, Ragnarok was in phase 3. All these dingers, Daddy. All these dingers, So, Marvel is cleaning up. It's never been hotter than at this point, and we're about to hit the showdown of showdowns. I am honestly so thrilled that this is happening in the semifinals and not the finals. I am so thrilled because only one of these is making it. Because I would hate for have the 1-2 in the finals. You know what I mean? I would hate that.
Yeah, it makes it more interesting. I agree.
Yeah, and also like we have the there's the two movies that culminated all of these phases, and there's two other movies that are kind of in Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. Very different kind of movies. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I think it's
Yeah.
better to
Yeah.
verse these, like the monster blockbuster battle and then the character study battle, and then we'll see which blockbuster versus which character study, kind of
Yeah.
comes down to
Yeah.
win in the end.
Agreed. Very much agreed. All right, perfect. Well, guys, that does it for the tail of tape. So let's head on to round one. Round one. Foot. All right, here we go. So here's the deal for round one. We're going to do some pros and some cons, and we're going to send it to round two for the big old vote. And then whoever goes on, goes on. We good, gang?
Yes,
The
sir.
show.
All right, cool. Who would like to start off? I mean, I can start if you'd like. But no, actually, let's do Liam, Burn, me. Go ahead, Lishmoosh. Take it away, Daddy-O.
All right, we're starting with Infinity War. As far as pros go, this movie we get the most of Thanos, who is hands down the most well-written villain in the whole
Yes.
Infinity Saga. And up until this point, like Marvel, all those movies were hugely successful, but one of the criticisms they were getting regularly was that the villains weren't, not all the villains in all these movies, whether they were good or not, were like compelling.
Yeah.
Thanos is the exact opposite of that. He's the most compelling. He's one of those villains where if if you watch the movie, watch the story, and you watch it through like his perspective, he's the hero. If you put yourself in his shoes, he's the hero of the movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'd say bonus points for Josh Brolin that's perfect voice for Thanos.
Oh,
Mhm.
Like he nailed
top
that.
casting. Yeah.
Like they could have used any actor, but I'm sure they chose his voice for a reason. And it just now, when you think of Thanos, you'll never be able to think of anybody. When you read comic books and read Thanos, you're gonna hear Josh
Yep.
Brolin's voice,
Yep.
which I think is awesome. Another pro for Infinity War, I think, the Black Order. So a lot of times, and we're talking about villains again, a lot of times in these movies, the secondary villains are just pretty much,
A waste of time.
they're not that interesting.
Throwaway.
They're cannon fodder essentially for the good guys to beat up. Which, in a way, I mean, the Black Order kind of was cannon fodder. They were beating up on them, but this group felt different. They were extremely powerful, and the whole time they were fighting, it was just more. They gave the Avengers a run for their money more so than any of the other secondary characters. Like these could have been the main villain in any other movie. That's how.
Can I ask Liam? So just to confirm, Black Order is Thanos' gang, right?
Yes.
Which is like Maw and the two
Yeah.
guys that went after them in this.
Proxima Midnight. Corvus Glaive is the dude with the knife that he stuck through Vision.
Yeah.
Then you got the big guy, Black Door, or Call Obsidian. They called him in that.
They call it in this one.
All right, cool. Thank you. I just wanted to confirm because you're right. All of those guys, like you're so right as far as villains go. So many are just like, dude, anyone would whip their ass, right?
Yeah, but not these guys. They could have been. So what I'm saying is, you take any one of these villains and put them as the main villain in one of the movies leading up to Infinity War, and they're a believable, powerful villain that that's your boss battle could easily be against any one of these guys.
Yeah.
And then also, I would say Iron Man, Captain America, Thor are, in my eyes, in this movie, in Infinity War, are accurate. You get to see like the best of the three of the main Avengers. Tony's nanotech is so cool. When he first goes down, remember when they're in New York and he's fighting Ebony Maw and everything, and he's got the
awesome.
Because kind of nanotech was kind of lame, but not when Tony had so many cool gadgets and everything. Captain America, showing up in the when they're in the subway and he catches that blade and just it's
so
like you get to see the best of these characters and they're killing it.
Yeah.
And then Thor, is redeemed. They finally show how super strong and durable he is when he takes on the whole power of all the star and everything,
Oh
and then he
yeah.
comes
Oh
down and
yeah.
just clears that Wakanda battle. It's just, I don't know. I think it's like the best of those characters you get to
Yeah.
see in this movie.
Agreed.
And yeah,
Agreed.
that's what I have for pros. There's a lot, but those are my three that I'm gonna go with for this movie.
What about cons, Daddy? Hit me with your
Cons,
cons.
you want my cons too?
I
All
want your
right.
cons.
So we'll Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor being so great directly leads into my cons. And
Oh.
I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record.
Dude, I'm in the same boat.
I bring
I'm in the
this up
same boat.
every time. And as awesome as they were, the Hulk sucked. So you have Bruce Banner, the Hulk, your strongest character in the biggest up until this point. Your biggest battle is that battle on Wakanda, and he's running around in Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah.
That does not make any sense to me in any way for like a writing standpoint and just a movie. Like
Yeah.
that is not what anybody showed up to see. I think it has to do with they don't want Hulk to be that cool because then Universal will want to do a standalone Hulk movie. I don't know what it is, but they're nerfing him so
Why
bad.
would Universal do the
Because
standalone
they
Hulk
still
movie
have
and
the
not
rights
Marvel?
to all his solo
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Yeah, which is why I think Hulk kind of sucks now.
Do you think that's why She-Hulk was so fucking shit?
Well, no,
No,
She-Hulk
no.
they do have the rights to because she counts as like an Avengers character.
Oh.
But the
I see.
Hulk count, which whatever,
what-
man.
It's
So
why
it's
there was
kind of
only
like the
one-
Spider-Man Sony deal in a way.
Except if Sony never decided they were really going to play ball, like
Yeah.
they eventually allowed Marvel to make solo Spider-Man movies. We got the first Hulk movie. Hulk has not had a sequel movie. He can only
Since 08.
appear in the MCU as part of a team. Universal still has the rights to a solo Hulk film.
Ugh.
Yeah, which is I guess
That's so
that's why they're
brutal.
doing it. It doesn't make me any. I know just because I know why it's happening doesn't make me any happier as to
Nope.
that it's happening on screen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I do struggle to find real cons in this movie. I think
Totally.
Infinity War is as near a perfect movie as you can find. But
Yeah.
if I'm gonna nitpick, I would say
Which you must.
writing wise, Vision is like a supercomputer, like insanely intelligent. He's not gonna be drawn down to that battlefield the way he was.
Oh,
when
you're
they're
thinking
fighting
he would have
Wakanda.
calculated this as
absolutely,
okay.
absolutely. He's too smart for that. They're not gonna. They maybe could have gotten him out there by force, but they're not gonna draw. They're not gonna
dupe him.
outsmart him.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I
absolutely.
like
not.
that because you've never heard that before. Because you're totally right. This guy, he's a like the supercomputer, like obviously tactical warfare.
Yeah, dude.
It's just like, hey, bait and switch, gang. We just want to get the one bitch away from him so we can send
he
in
would,
our
he
like,
would
yeah,
he would smell that coming from a mile away, dude.
yeah, oh yeah, big
and
time.
then-
Well, the thing was though, it wasn't him that they duped. It was Wanda.
Well, they duped her, and then he came. Yeah,
And
still,
obviously
but he would have
women are
known.
just-
Yeah. I just, I don't think they
If he
would
would have
have
put a dish, if they would have put just a sink full of dishes out there, they would have got all the girls duped, right? What are we doing?
A little
Plus-
pepper cash.
Plus, he can fly.
There was
and
a shoe
stuff.
sale.
Like, why wouldn't he just you turned it into a war of attrition? Vision is just always running from Thanos, just never lets him
Right.
catch him. He becomes intangible, like
Right.
why would he engage at that point? I just don't think he would.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but still, who
I'll
cares?
tell you,
it was a great
powerful
movie.
scene though, super powerful scene when like I mean that like this is like the Russos I think at their best, right? And I don't mean to step on your stuff, but that scene when Thanos shows up, right, and they're all in the woods, and it's like Thanos whacks down Black Panther, Thanos fucking spins up War Machine, right, and like Scarlet's trying to hold him off and everything like that, and you got Cap like holding the gauntlet apart, like just and like I love too how they put Cap over with the look on Thanos' face when he's holding over the gauntlet and
Hell
Thanos
yeah.
like, oh.
Hell yeah! Well,
okay.
that's like straight out. That's like straight off a page. Everybody
Oh,
else
really?
is everybody else is down and out. and Captain America stands tall, doesn't stand a chance, but still takes a swipe
Fights
at him.
a good
You know what I
fight.
mean?
Always
Yeah,
fights. He always fights a good
absolutely.
fight. Yeah. But
Yeah.
then like she destroys it, and he's like, ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Zoink. See ya. Dink. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
very.
super. It's like they could he's like he can walk through walls, and he's like can create things with his mind. You'd think he wouldn't put the stone right on his forehead. You
Yeah.
know? Maybe design it that it's in his butt or something. Maybe Thanos got a good little cavity search or whatever. But yeah, no, it's just right there.
Or
Bing,
like
see
any
ya.
number of things. He's
Right.
he's an android. He doesn't need oxygen. Go to outer space.
Yeah.
You know what I
Vision
mean?
could have
Yeah.
Vision could have buried that stone in his colon at any time if he wanted to. He could have just moved
Yeah.
it.
Right.
It doesn't have to be
Right.
there. Like
Right.
he could have hidden it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, go like
For
hide
sure.
in the sun or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Nice. All right. Good shit, Lishmoosh.
I got one last thing.
Oh,
I got
yeah,
a
yeah.
question.
Do it. Sorry. I'm not trying to step on you. Go ahead.
What the fuck does the Red Skull do after the Soul Stone is gone? What does he do? I wish they would have answered that question. That's all.
That's coming up for me too.
Cool.
Time out. So you're saying what? So Red Skull's whole existence was guarding this Soul Stone.
For
right?
whatever reason, they never really explained that, other than he was.
It was kind of like I always thought it was kind of like a punishment for him.
That's
Because
what
it's
it
like, oh,
sounds
you wanted
like.
this,
Yeah.
you wanted this thing so bad, then you abuse it, so now you got to babysit it for 1,000 years and whatever, or 10
and
wherever.
then I just wonder, like they show Thanos get the stone, but then what happens? Does he just chill there forever with no stone?
I do love that they put him in. Like, I love that it was a callback, though. Great callback.
It was a good callback. It was.
So,
I agree.
All right, good deal.
That's all I got. Yep.
Awesome. Benoit Payud Kisse. Hit me with your pros and your cons, Daddy.
All right. Couple pros to start off with, right? Obviously, I agree with everything Liam said and everything. We've talked about this movie a number of times and how masterful it is. One of the things going back and watching that I really, really liked, I liked the way that we got to watch the different stones work when Thanos had them on the glove. We got to see the Aether bend reality. We got to see the purple of the Power Stone. We got to see the Time Stone literally turn back time. They color coded it with what he was doing, but on that scene where the Guardians are trying to sneak up on him when they think the Collector's injured, when really it's just a conjuration of Thanos. And he's turning guys into silly putty. He's making guys springs. Like, I thought it was really, really cool that it wasn't just some big power blast that comes out of his gauntlet, but you could actually see each stone. Yeah, and he has to choose which stones to use to fight those guys. So he's using different stones to fight Peter Quill than he's using to fight Doctor Strange. And I think we get a little caught up in the MacGuffins of the whole thing of like, get the stones, get the stones, get the stones. It's cool they were still able to create a scenario where we get to see how the stones actively work and like what they actually do and what they do when they're wielded by someone who has like that kind of physical and mental and cosmic control over them. Because, you look at the first Guardians, they have the Power Stone. They don't know what to do with it. They almost blow up a whole planet. At the end, they're just like, somebody take this and hide it somewhere. Because like none of us should be responsible for this kind of power. So Thanos being able to really show us how they work, I thought was really, really cool and a nice touch, as opposed to him just being like overpowered. My second pro, and this piggybacks a little bit on Liam talking about the big three, Stormbreaker, man. We see that whole first Thor movie is about I can't pick up my hammer. I can't pick up my hammer. I might not be worthy. And then we're joking about picking up the hammer, going on and on throughout the whole series. Picking up the hammer by someone else is a big point in Endgame. But just realizing the cosmic power that Thor has, that he'll go make another weapon, a weapon that exists to only be wielded pretty much by like the top Asgardians or top most powerful people in the universe. And he's like, no, now I have a new thing. It's an axe. It's got Groot's arm because we all became best friends. And I'm just going to show up. I make my own Bifrost now. Like, I don't even need it. really pushing Thor to the godlike Thor
Yeah.
that like we
Yes.
need to understand. Um, and Thor's growth through these, especially coming right off of Ragnarok, because this is a great, the opening scene of this movie is coming right off of Ragnarok, and at the end of Ragnarok, it's like hooray, and then right away it's like, oh, this is a really bad deal.
Yeah, they can't catch a
we're in a
break.
tremendous amount of trouble here.
Um,
This is going really poorly. Another pro is I love that opening scene on Earth. I love the initial Tony Stark, Stephen Strange taking a walk down the block. Let's see what's going to happen. Full of
Yeah.
piss and vinegar, super cocky, and like Liam said, Ebony Maw and Black Dwarf, like these guys are absolute the heaviest hitters in the universe. They could have absolutely been their own villains, but getting to see them get humbled like that early on
Yeah.
really, really, really set the stakes for this movie.
Yeah.
And here's another pro, and it's kind of a little fan theory, but I really enjoy it thinking about it. Did Thanos kill Captain America in this movie?
No.
Well, we see Cap holding up the glove when they're having their fight, and we see Thanos give him a little wink. The glove lights up, and he crushes him. A few minutes later, Thanos has to rewind time in order to take the stone
oh.
out of Vision's head. Did he kill Steve Rogers in that scene? And is Steve Rogers back alive because he had to turn the clock back in order to take that stone out of Vision's head before Scarlet Witch was able to destroy
That's
it?
good, man. Yeah, that's good,
It's
man.
just a cool idea. Just a cool idea to think about.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Wow.
Wow.
He
Yeah.
totally could have.
He totally
could
could've.
have.
And we wouldn't know because then he has to rewind it.
I mean, think about this as a point of view if they shot it like this. Like, you see him holding the gloves, and then all of a sudden, Pal Smacko, and then you could do like an internal monologue of Cap being like, "No, this is it. I need to save him. I need to save him. I can't save him. I'm gonna try. I have to hold on. I have to hold on." And like he holds on to the because think about that, right? Like for the rewind. You know what I mean? Like it only goes back however many seconds. So if he doesn't hold it to the time where it's like he can blink back awake,
then he might be. We might not have. He
so
might not have been.
Do it from like his view, right? And his view, he's looking at Wanda. She doesn't do it, and then he fades as she starts to break it apart. That's a powerful fucking point of view. Oh my god. I'm juicing, Daddy.
Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool
That'd
idea.
Be awesome. Awesome.
My cons are again, Liam went through a lot of them. There's a couple. My first con is when we meet Thanos, he's already got the Power Stone and the Reality Stone. I would have liked to have seen. We get to see him collect all the other ones, but the Power Stone was on Nova, which was a huge point of Guardians of the Galaxy. We just hear, oh yeah, he went to Nova and destroyed it. And then he went to the Collector and stole the Aether. I would have liked to have seen his full journey of collecting all 6 stones, that they cheated a little bit by him starting off with 2. But it's the only way that it really makes sense that he could take on the Hulk and Thor. You know what I mean? When they meet right away.
Yeah.
So I get why they did it. I would have liked to have seen it.
Where were they? So wait, the one was from Xandar when he destroyed Xandar, right?
He destroyed Xandar, and the other one, the Redstone, the Aether, the one from Thor 2, they had given to the Collector.
Yeah.
Oh. To
So wait, he already had that?
No, not in the beginning, but he's saying you see them get there after he already got it from the Collector.
Yeah, he already had that.
Wait, when they go to Thor, he already had that one?
No.
He had 2.
He only had the one, right?
Did he only have the Power Stone?
Well, because he doesn't go so that means he would have gone to the Collector before going to Thor because he went from Thor to the Collector.
I guess either way, we don't get to see him take that one. We don't get to see him take the
Yeah.
Aether, and we don't get to see him take the Power Stone.
I thought he
We get
only
to,
had one stone
he
when
might
he
have,
went to Thor.
and then took the Tesseract from Loki.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
might be the case, but we don't get that interaction at all of him taking the red stone either, which I thought
Yeah.
was, I would have liked to have seen it, but
Yeah.
again, not a lot to nitpick here going on. The teams were a little fractured. Um, the groups were good, Tony and Strange being with the Guardians ended up making sense, and Spider-Man. We got a lot of fractured teams in this one, and they, for the most part, came together at the end of the movie. I would argue that I almost like the Wakanda fight in this movie more than I like the final battle in Endgame. But it's just missing that extra factor. It's missing Tony. It's missing the Guardians. Some of the Guardians. I thought the teams were a little bit fractured, and my only other con is we don't understand the Soul Stone at all. Red Skull is there guarding the Soul Stone, but he also makes the point of, like, in order to get this, you need sacrifice. We can see at the bottom of that pit, like, other people have made this sacrifice before.
Yeah.
It's not the first time someone has taken possession of the Soul Stone, and the
Hmm.
implication is it won't be the last time someone takes possession of the Soul Stone. So I really would like to know. The Soul Stone is the one that's way more interesting than the rest, and the one that we get to know the least about. And I wish they would have given us a little time in Infinity War to understand that, because there's no time in Endgame to
No.
suss that out. You know?
Yeah.
Well, that was it, man. I mean, like, Liam touched on a couple of them. Vision making stupid plays, nerfing the Hulk.
Yeah.
Are the biggest ones for me.
Yeah. So, all right, nice. Okay, so I'll throw my little tiddlywinks out here. So, as far as pros, so the same villain was incredible, right? Thanos is just the best, right? The high stakes and genuine loss, absolutely, right? The stakes couldn't have been higher. The universe is at stake, and to actually lose people, like, unbelievable, right? But the pacing I absolutely loved for this, right? Like, it's a such a massive cast, right? That the pacing going into it, no one thought how it could be done, and the way that they used the connection between the characters and the pairings were perfect, right? Like Thor, Rocket, and Groot, perfect pairing. Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Spider Man, awesome. And then when the Guardians joined with Iron Man, Strange, and Spider Man on Titan, absolutely fantastic, right? You know what I mean? Really, really good stuff. So they're kind of, the Force Teamless is a good thing, I thought, right? And then, despite, being massive, the epic scope, they did not, like, we knew it was going to be truly huge, but they made it even bigger than it could and still held it together. And then also, visually stunning, right? It looked so good, right? It even holds up till today. Still looks good.
I
If you
agree.
look at the first Avengers, going back, you see that Chitauri. There's some parts where you're like, okay, this is, it's aged, right? But
Mhm.
I've rewatched Infinity War recently. Still holds up. Still looks phenomenal, right?
Yeah, dude.
Phenomenal.
I
And then,
love the fight on Titan when
oh,
Tony
loved it.
Stark and Thanos are going at it.
Oh yeah,
To me, that's some of the best, like, effects they have. It's like
yeah.
in all the movies. Yeah.
Also, like, some of the quotes, I have to feel like one of my favorite quotes from Thanos, right, is the hardest choices require the strongest wills. Like, how much can they make you relate to a character when he gets to Titan and finds out that Maw is dead, right? And
He
he's just
feels it.
like,
He feels
he
it.
says, he's like, this day extracts a heavy toll. He just threw away fucking Gamora, and then he comes
Mm-hmm.
and find out his general, his right hand, Maw, has been killed by these jabronis after tooling him up on, like, Maul won that fight on Earth, dude. He didn't seem like he struggled much either. You know,
He dominated that
really
fight.
did,
He dominated.
really did. And like even the guy that throws the hook thing gimmick, whatever, that gets his hand snapped off by what's his face Wong, he was did well, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's to say Thor or who's to say Hulk would have done well with him. But honestly, really, every time I see this movie, I enjoy it. They did such a good job of like the powerful scenes. Like when Cap comes back, they're in a subway in fucking Scotland,
Dude, no,
right?
it's not even Nomad catching the spear, Cap's Nomad character catching the spear. It's the look on Vision and Scarlet Witch's face when they realize it's
Oh,
Cap, and they're like, oh, okay,
and the music.
now we got it. Now we got a shot. Oh,
What's
Captain.
what's
Yeah,
crazy is they're both stronger and more
Yep,
powerful than Captain
yeah,
yep,
yeah.
America, but
yep.
he
But
shows
he's
up and they're like, okay, now we're good.
Okay, now we got a shot. Now we're gonna be okay.
yeah,
Like
Yeah, that's
yeah.
such a
awesome, man.
such
That's
a nod
awesome.
Yeah.
to Steve Rogers and
Yep.
just how
He's
he
just
changes
like
the game
true
on a
leader.
battlefield.
When a true leader shows up, everyone gets it. Like everyone's on. You know what I mean? He's
Yep.
a true leader.
And then they
Verbally
do start fucking them up.
They
and they
sure do.
They
fucking
do.
look at. But they worked as a team. You saw it. Like as
Yep.
soon as they come in, fucking Widow's in there whacking dick. Fucking
Falcon comes in and
Falcon's in
blasts
there dropping nuts.
what's her
You
face right
know.
through the store. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they start whipping it, and like they had to skedaddle right away. Like Iron Man and them and Strange and all those guys and Spider-Man, they lost, but Cap comes in, true leader, and they win. Send them home fucking packing.
Oh
You
yeah, they
know,
bounce.
yeah,
They gotta
and
go.
like the one guy was they thought dead. You know, so
Corvus
like
Glaive. Yeah, he
yeah,
took
they
the
thought they
spear.
killed one too. So like, it's really like they put Cap over good after making Hulk job out. You know what I mean? So they really need to show strength, but it's like strength under true leadership, which I really enjoyed. Some
Yep.
of the cons I would say for this film, with this big of a cast, character screen time. Maybe you didn't get as much time with everybody, but the Wakanda being introduced early, right? Like we've only been to Wakanda once, and now it's a central battleground. Like it did feel like it was super looked great, visually impressive, but Wakanda just got to the dance, and you have to make Earth's final stand,
Yeah,
and
the
you're
last
using
stand.
this, right?
Yeah.
Like is there a more in my mind I'm like, is there a more secure place to below they did have to do the
Yeah,
work
I don't know.
on
They have all
Vision,
the
like I don't know.
vibranium and stuff, and they have the
Yeah,
shield.
yeah.
That's
I don't know. It just
Wakanda's
feels
pretty
like
secure, dude.
yeah, but it just feels like we just met it and now it's like this is where we're hosting the final dance to defend Earth. I don't know. To me it
Yeah.
just felt, it's just again, really nitpicking here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
And then,
Understood.
dude,
Understood.
like, I don't know. I guess, like, the scale of power inconsistencies, like you're saying, like, maybe they should have had someone else guarding Vision because Wanda could have been out. Like, it seems like Wanda and Hulk and Thor could have destroyed their whole army of fucking crawly things,
Yeah, yeah. And
Like,
just have everyone
everyone else can
guard
stay
Vision
back guarding Vision,
and
and Wanda
Thor
and
and
Thor can
yeah,
just
yeah,
fucking whack them out.
yeah.
But you wouldn't have gotten like, dude, that's another thing. Like, talk about an inspiring leader. I always think of like Band of Brothers. There's a episode 4 in Band of Brothers where they're charging a fixed position for the Germans, and Winters goes first. He leads the attack, right? He had to be first. And I feel like that was Cap and Black Panther. So like we're the leaders
Hmm.
of this army. We have to be first.
Oh,
We have to lead the attack.
they were sprinting. They were
Sprinting.
sprinting ahead of their forces to be like,
Yeah.
we're going to take out as many of these motherfuckers as we possibly can before the rest of you guys get here. And that
But
was
think
just
about like what
instinctual
that
of who they both
inspires
are.
for the rest of the
Yep.
people that don't have powers.
Yeah.
And then Umbaku, the best.
Yeah.
M'Baku rules.
He's always dude.
He rules.
He crushes it.
He's a top shelf character, dude. Always.
Couldn't
Oh
agree
yeah.
more.
So, all right. So that does it for Infinity War. I think we've
Hmm.
put out some good pros, put good cons. So let's move on to Endgame. Lashmoosh, I'm gonna kick it back to you, Daddy-O.
Endgame pros. I would say a big pro for Endgame is the theme of Endgame is just, redemption, making the story right. Like everyone loves a comeback story,
Oh, yeah.
overcoming incredible odds, and
Yeah.
undoing the snap of all the Infinity Stones. That is overcoming like insurmountable odds. Like that's as tough as it gets, I think. And it
Yeah.
definitely, you know, it being that big and then them having it be the original Avengers pretty much are the ones that didn't get snapped away. That was
Yeah.
Mhm.
definitely done by design, and I love that. I love that it's Captain America's there, Iron Man's
Yeah.
there, Thor's there,
Thor.
then
Yeah.
then Banner's there,
Cap.
and Hulk's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And Natasha and Clint, like
Yeah.
Yes,
the
yeah,
Yeah.
original
yeah,
six,
absolutely.
all
Yeah,
But
hanging
I
out.
did like that they threw some news in there too with Nebula and Rocket, you know?
yeah, yep. And then even if it was only for a second, couple minutes, for me, this is something that I remember when I first saw Endgame. I was so psyched about this when Hawkeye, when Black Widow goes to pick up Hawkeye for the first time in Endgame, and he's in the Ronin costume. That was such an awesome like throwback for me because I remember reading in New Avengers when Clint came back and he joins up with the New Avengers and he's got the Ronin costume. And
Uh-huh.
that Brian Michael Bendis series was so fucking awesome.
So good.
So if you like Ronin, if you liked that character, you thought it looked cool, then read those comics because he is fucking cool. Um,
Okay.
and that was just for someone like me, that was that scene just being in the movie. Just that one little scene was just like, oh, I love it. I love it,
Just
dude.
in their range, just taking out a whole Yakuza gang,
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
And you
no
have that one
problem, no
samurai
sweat.
guy that's in every like Asian samurai movie, you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
That
Yeah,
guy
he's
rules.
in Mortal Kombat and stuff too, right?
Yeah,
Isn't he in
yeah,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
Uh
was in The Last Samurai. He was in that new show on FX,
Shogun.
Shogun. He kills
Hmm.
it in that. He was great.
He was
He
in
was in John
Westworld.
Wick. Yeah, yeah.
He's awesome.
we should
He's
know his
great.
name since he's that cool, you know?
We wouldn't be able to pronounce it even if
Yeah,
we did.
probably. All right. And then for Endgame, I think the most obvious pro of all of them is the action. The battles are iconic. The movie is a perfect example of why we're going to the movies to watch this stuff in the
Yes.
first place. Like
Yes.
I think a lot of times they get lost in it has to be this deep story and everything. Like, no, we're going to see people that can fly and shoot lightning,
Yes.
and we just
Yes.
want to see them fight each other and overpower
Oh,
each other and blow
yeah.
shit up and
Yeah.
protect the weaker people. That's all you want to
Yeah.
see is heroes doing hero shit, and that's what you get to see in this movie. The formula is not that complicated.
No.
That's the kind of shit they need to be doing.
Have it
That
look
and they
cool.
did
Have
it.
it be
Yes,
fucking awesome. Have
yes,
it look, hey, on a screen that's 30 by 30 with 3D goggles. I want this thing to explode with awesomeness.
yes,
Okay?
yeah,
That's all I want. Call me
yeah.
crazy. Call me crazy.
Yeah, show us all the cool powers and ships and all that
Oh,
stuff, and yeah,
oh,
like that. Then it had all of it, and that's to me the like obvious pro here. You
yeah.
know, cons.
Con me, daddy.
Matt, you can go ahead and take a guess at what my biggest issue was with Endgame.
I mean, I'm thinking two. One is I mean, you've said a couple times, a couple things you hate. You hate the time travel storyline and fucking Thor dead dicking again. Old dead dick Thor. Or dead
Well,
dick Hulk, I mean.
yes, yeah.
I would say, yeah,
Sorry, I meant Hulk.
I was gonna
Dead
say
dick
nerfing the
Hulk, you
Hulk,
hate.
nerfing the
yeah.
Hulk.
So here we are, and the fucking Hulk sucks again. You know, and, and I just it like boggles my mind that he does the snap, his arm's fucked up,
Yeah.
he's the strongest Avenger by far. And what?
Wow.
Now all of a sudden, because his arm's in a sling, now his other arm and his two legs are now what? Not massively strong anymore. Why was he
Yeah.
not doing
Doesn't he have
anything?
healing
It
powers
it
too?
does not make sense. Yeah, and he should be able to just fight anyway. The more angry he gets, but they had to make
should
him
be able.
that Professor Hulk nonsense, and
If anything,
He's
his
taking-
arm hurting should make him angrier.
Yes,
Like, what are we
yes,
doing?
yes, he
Matt,
should be smashing people with his other arm the whole
You have
time.
no idea how accurate that is, Matt. Like taking selfies with the kids in the diner is like a little cute, but like he should be furious. And the more furious the Hulk becomes, the more difficult he is to deal with, and the closer to invincible he approaches.
Get this guy off Zoloft. Let's fucking go. Here.
Right.
Yeah.
I bet that snap hurt a lot. That should trigger something.
Yes, I'm okay. I'm even okay with the Professor Hulk in the beginning where he's taking this. That part didn't even bother me that much. But you're in the biggest fight you've ever had up until now, and he's in a sling. He's done. We're done with them for the rest of the movie. Makes no sense to me at all.
Liam, let me ask you this. He does that snap.
Yeah.
If they do this, he does that snap and feels that pain. And then we lose Professor Hulk and only get Berserker Hulk for the rest of the movie, who
would
was
have been fantastic.
Like, not exactly playing by the rules, but that would have been perfect. Like the perfect way to get him back in the action.
Yeah, there was plenty of stuff for him to destroy there. Plenty of bad guys for him to smash.
Yeah, lots to smash.
Oh, it could have been Smash City.
They
could have had him take down the plane.
And it was a layup too. They even could have called back to the original Avengers movie. Chris Evans turns to him. Cap turns to him and says, Hulk smash. And then he goes and smashes all Thanos' guys.
I would love that.
Easy peasy, man. But anyway, that's...
But hey, they got over the women because, it was right in the middle of Me Too. You know?
Yeah, yes, I do know. And
they tried. They tried.
I'll tell you, if that gauntlet...
patronizing is what it was.
I'll tell you, if that gauntlet needed to go in a sink full of dishes, it would have been fucking over. If that gauntlet came with a shoe sale, huh? Or maybe a Louis Vuitton purse, huh?
50% off.
Yeah, it would have fucking been all over it. Yeah, that was so fucking corny. So corny.
So
you know what's frustrating about that scene, the powerful lady scene, is that they did that in Infinity War, and it was awesome. They didn't
patronize you, so you didn't feel that.
That's what I mean. They didn't make a deal about it. It was Scarlet Witch, it was Okoye, and it was
Black Widow. Yeah.
And they took out Proxima Midnight. Like that was awesome. That was three ladies being awesome. They just
her name's Proxima Midnight.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, she just got awesome.
So all of the characters have a synonym for the word black in their name. So like Ebony Maw, Black Dwarf, Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive. They all have one of their.
Wait, who's the dwarf?
Ebony Midnight? Black Dwarf is the guy who loses his hand. Who comes down with Ebony Maw?
Call Obsidian, they call him. I don't know why they had to change his name. I guess they
who's the other? Who's Corvus?
Corvus Glaive is the guy who gets stabbed. He's like the elf-looking guy who gets stabbed in the subway.
So
Proxima Midnight's his girl, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They all
Corvus
have
Glaive, Ebony Maw, Midnight, Proxima Midnight, and then Dwarf,
Black Dwarf. So they're the black. They're the black. They're the blacks.
Right. Yeah,
they're the blacks.
They're the blacks.
The Black Order.
The Black Order.
Speaking of which, you guys, perfect segue to my next Endgame con. Where was the Black Order?
The blacks are cons?
No. Where was the Black Order? You know what I mean? They were in the movie for a little bit, but they were such a huge part of the fight in the first movie, but they kind of just showed up at the end. And even though, they were in the fight, but they didn't really.
None of them did anything
you couldn't really distinguish them from the rest of the army.
Dude, because
you could pick them out because you knew who they were.
Yeah,
you didn't really see him. What did he really do in that final fight? Not much.
Who could have even fought Maul 1-on-1? Because it seemed like they did. I would have loved if they did matchups.
Maybe Strange was holding him down. Yeah,
but Strange had to hold the tornado water. Remember,
Yeah. Well,
Strange was holding
he had
tornado
Wong
water.
with him. He had Wong with him and his people. He had
Yeah.
magic users with him.
I'm just saying, I would have loved if they would have done like this person takes out this, like, because that's what they kind of did in Infinity War with Proxima Midnight, is that they're like, okay, these girls, like our girl against your girl kind of thing, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
but
and she
like,
gets murked. There's
yeah,
consequences.
because
Somebody wins, somebody
Wanda
loses.
fucking yokes her.
Whip.
Wanda fucking skabooch, zoink. And then Okoye with the great line, like, why are we out here? Why has that bitch
Yeah.
not been out here the whole time? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Great line, which is exactly what we said. I was like, Wanda literally gonna take out everybody. What are we even doing here? So
Yep.
yeah, okay. Sorry,
All right.
I interrupted you.
That's cool. I got one more, and
Hit me, Daddy.
it's to me, it's a big one.
Okay.
They established in the movie before, they teased us with that Xandar was destroyed. Okay.
Yeah.
Then there was a rumor that Richard Rider Nova would be in Endgame at some point. So you destroyed Xandar, which is a part of his origin. It's right there, and you don't have to bring Richard Rider in, do his origin, show a story and everything.
Who?
But dude, you guys couldn't have him just fly by. You couldn't just have one guy in a Nova costume fly by with the Nova Force just to show that he exists in the MCU after Xandar's escape or destroyed. I don't get it, man. And the Russo brothers made a joke about it. Like they said, they hinted at Nova being an Easter egg in the movie, but then they decided that it was a joke. But why is it a joke? It would have taken them like 10 extra minutes to just have him fly by, and everybody would have loved it, dude. Everybody would have loved it. Or everybody that reads comics would have loved it.
Who is this? Who's this guy?
Richard Rider is Nova. He's been part of the Guardians of the Galaxy before, but you know how on the planet Xandar they had the Nova Force. That was like
Nova
their army.
Corps.
Yeah, Nova Corps. Well, Nova is the superhuman, essentially the superhuman general.
He's the last one standing. When all the Nova gets destroyed, all those guys get destroyed on Xandar, all the power goes to one person. That's Richard Rider. And he's got a special helmet that has all the information and all the power of all those dudes together.
Also, he looks really cool.
That's like the Nova really Corps thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Division
of that. And he's also a really cool looking comic character. He's got a gold helmet with an awesome red star thing on the front. Like he would have looked real cool in the picture. My question is why? I mean, where
is he now?
Where's he now?
Why do we still not have him
at some point? Yeah.
Is that not Harry Styles?
No, Harry Styles is Star Fox.
Thanos' brother.
Yeah, he's some other dude that we'll probably not see for a while.
Has anything happened into that storyline?
Nah, I think because it's Eternals, that kind of died off.
I think they're. I don't think Patton Oswalt's coming back.
I saw something with who's the God? It's not Aziz Ansari. What's his name? Fuck, he was in it. Got real jacked.
Oh, Bill Cosby.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
When I don't know anybody, you always just say Bill Cosby.
No, he was
Kumail Nanjiani.
What's his name?
Kumail Nanjiani.
Kingo? Yeah.
But I saw a thing where he just was like ripping Eternals. Like he fucking really was upset with Eternals. Know? Because I guess it was that bad. I don't fucking know.
It wasn't
great. Yeah.
It wasn't She-Hulk. Tell you that. She-Hulk was so fucking bad.
Hold on. Was She-Hulk the worst? What was
I don't
know.
I
don't know. Secret Invasion was bad, dude. Secret Invasion was
Wait,
really
what is
bad.
Secret Invasion? I never saw Secret Invasion.
With your girl Daenerys Stormborn Targaryen? You've never seen Emilia Clarke in Secret Invasion?
What?
Well,
the mother of dragons?
If you like Sam Jackson, don't watch it if you like Samuel Jackson.
Where do you see it?
It's a 6-part show. It's a 6-part
I did see it with the guy from Place Beyond the Pines.
With the Skrulls.
And they play the green fuckers.
The Skrulls.
I didn't finish it.
It's
I did
horrendous.
See
you don't need
you
to
didn't miss anything.
No, She-Hulk is worse than that.
I don't think so.
You're wrong. She-Hulk is so fucking bad.
I think She-Hulk knew what
It
it was
is.
doing.
You are
and it
right,
was
but I think
kind
they're
of
both
winking.
they're both
She-Hulk breaks the
horrendous.
fifth wall too much. It's like the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel became an MCU fucking gimmick. No, it's not
Yeah, but
good.
She-Hulk was always a C plus character, and Secret Invasion is an
By
incredible
C plus,
Yeah.
you mean cunt
mark.
plus? Then
I
yeah,
just
she was a
mean
cunt
like
plus.
she's a third level, she's a third tier character, and Secret Invasion is one of Marvel's
She's actually not horrible
most.
when she's in like
No,
Avengers comics and stuff, but I just,
All
but
right,
there's
Secret
other
Invasion
characters to do.
had to
But
be
yeah,
good. Secret
bottom
Invasion is
line,
an incredible
guys.
story, and they
Bottom,
fucked it
yeah.
harder than anything they fucked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bottom line is that I obviously have a better judge of comics than both of you.
Mhm.
yeah,
When I say
For
She-Hulk
sure.
is the worst, it's the worst. So
it is bad.
that's
I can't argue with that anyway.
right.
So.
Okay, Lashmoosh, what else you got?
That's it. That's it. Those are my three cons. It's Hulk sucks. Where's the Black Order? And why you guys gonna tease Richard Rider and then do nothing? F off.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. All right,
I'm still waiting for
Benoit, pay you. Drop some nuts, daddy.
All right, so Endgame pros.
Hmm.
My first pro
Oh,
is the opening scene of that film. Because
Oh.
we know how cool Hawkeye can be, but Hawkeye's never going to be the guy who takes over the battle, right? He's like like the hardest thing Hawkeye has done in this entire series is an Endgame where he takes that glove and he runs it through the trenches and he's killing all
Yeah.
those dudes and he gets
Yeah.
up and he gets it out. That is the
Great
absolute
scene.
max. It's a great scene, and it's
Great
the
scene.
absolute max of Hawkeye's powers as an Avenger and a hero.
Well,
But
do you think can I ask Bern, like he got into that type of Hawkeye mode because he literally was like, I have nothing to lose. The only thing I ever cared about was my family and they're gone and they're not coming back.
Gone.
Yeah.
So I'm just killing everything. I don't care if I die. So I'll run
Nope.
away from these 5,000 things and fight them and do all this cool shit. Like he was
Yeah.
just looking for, okay.
Well,
sorry.
at that
continue.
Well,
point,
his phone rings. He knows his people are alive.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck, you're right.
at
So
that
now
point,
it's
he
even
knows
more.
they're
He's
back.
fighting because he wants to get.
Yeah.
Oh, so now he's like, my fucking life is back. I'm gonna fight for it. Okay.
But not even talking about what Hawkeye does on the battlefield. The most important thing he can do in this movie is set the tone for what happened after the snap. It's that scene. They're out, they're making hot dogs. Who wants mayo on a hot dog? He's doing some archery with his daughter, and then he turns around and everyone's fucking gone.
Yeah.
The terror, the confusion, like wait, what's going on here? And all of a sudden, my wife and kids are kind of, why do I deserve to be around? I don't deserve to be around. Let me get into some Ronin. I don't care what happens to me. I'm going to go kill as many bad. It makes a really cool arc for the character, but I think that I cannot think of a better way to set the tone for this movie than just Hawkeye on his farm, hanging out with his wife and kids, having some burgers and some dogs, shooting some arrows, and you turn around and everyone you love is gone with no explanation.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got a secret T in the A for Linda Cardellini.
Nothing secret about that. That's what a T in the A.
That's a fucking T in the A stands fucking freaks and geeks, daddy.
And I'm trying to remember the exact song that was playing, the old country rock song that was playing, but like it was just a perfect introduction.
Oh, and he's like whistling, like, "Hey, boys, hey, someone's got to talk to me here. What's going on?" And then you see when you see the dust, you're just like, "Oh no, not the dust. Oh, the dust. Oh, you're so right, dude."
He's Clint is almost like the closest to an audience member.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like he's the most. I know Tony's.
Because they talk about that he took the buyout.
He's the most human, relatable character of this girl. He says it in Ultron when he's trying to pump up Quicksilver. And he's like, "Yeah, I got a god, I got a super soldier, I got a guy in an iron tank, I got a Hulk. I shoot arrows. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. This is who I am. Like, but they want me on the squad, and I'm going to contribute." So he's almost the closest avatar we have as viewers, and to see all that disappear is really heartbreaking and really, I think, sets an incredible tone for what we're getting from Endgame. Another pro I have is that Robert Downey Jr.'s performance is so good. Iron Man's importance to this whole
Ugh.
all 23 movies
Hmm.
is so huge that
Yeah.
he actually gets two death scenes. The movie starts with a Tony Stark death scene and ends with a Tony Stark real death scene. That
Mhm.
scene where he's in the ship with Nebula, they're playing paper football, and he's sending that message to Pepper. He breaks it down.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. You got this much oxygen. I'm sorry this
Yeah.
happened, but here's who I am. I'm going out on my shield.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm not coming back. I
Did
did
he
everything I
really lose all
possibly
that
could.
weight too, or was
I don't
that
think
like?
I don't
I don't think
I
so.
doubt it.
It didn't
'Cause,
look
I mean, it
normal,
looked like he. Hey,
Yeah,
if he didn't, fucking look like he did. So good on him.
but essentially it's such an homage to Tony Stark. It's so hard to lose him in
Ugh.
this movie, but it's so necessary. It's so
Yeah.
necessary for him to make the
Mhm.
sacrifice play at the end. The
Yeah.
fact that it starts with Tony Stark dying, and he's accepted his death, and then we have to see him 5 years later with a kid, with a
Yep.
wife, with a little ranch. We're ready for it. We're primed for it because we
Yeah.
know now that he's the kind of guy who would do that. And then he gives a shit.
Yeah.
Then he's sorry he's not going to live, but he's happy with the life he's lived. And I think it's so important. I mean, who else gets two death scenes in a
Oof.
series and have both of them work and have one of them be like, the beginning and the end of a movie? It's
I mean, that explode also
phenomenal writing.
too. Like, but also like when he has the interaction with Cap and you freak out on Cap, like so powerful, man. He
Yeah.
really lays it all out there. He's like, I fucking needed you, and where were you? I got fucking no time for you, dude. I called this. You didn't want to fucking waste your precious freedom bullshit. And it's like, I don't know. It was so good. He fucking
Meanwhile,
crushed.
Steve Rogers wants to be like, did you hear about Wakanda? Because I was, at the very
Yeah.
end, I was a little
We
tied
won. We
up.
won our fight, Tone. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what fight you were in that you
Um,
lost, but we won ours until Thanos showed up because you couldn't
well,
fucking stop him.
everybody won their fight until Thanos showed up in
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Fucking
Everyone was
truth
doing
there,
fine until
Daddy.
Thanos showed up.
That's the
Uh,
truth. Hey, till fucking Grimace pops out, everyone's a fucking winner, Daddy.
yeah,
He's the
and
best, though. The
my
best
other
villain.
one, my other one is a super easy one, and we talked a little bit about this before we got on the pod tonight, but how many trilogies fuck up the ending? Like three movies. Like you get
Uh huh.
one good one, a decent
Yeah.
second one, and then the third one stinks or doesn't work. How many, sequels are terrible? The way they were able to put a cap on a 23 movie run,
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see the likes of that again
No.
from anything, really. I
No.
don't think we'll see it from a superhero franchise. I don't think we'll see
Absolutely
it.
not.
I don't know how you do that, but when all is said and done, like I walked out of that movie the first time I saw it and I was like, I have no notes. No, I'm going to give a couple cons here, afterwards. But man, to be able to put a cap on all that content, all
Uh
that
huh.
work, all
Uh
those
huh.
characters, and have everyone kind of go,
You
yeah,
know.
that's
You
the end
know
of the
what?
story.
Yeah, you're right. You know what too, like in what you're saying, Burn, is a lot of times like I feel studios will stretch a movie out to get an extra like look at like Pirates of the Caribbean. There shouldn't have been three. You could have done it in two, right? Like there's so many where they throw that middle one in there that's bullshit. Like when they did the Hobbit, second one didn't need to exist. Could have been done in two. But they're going for like the money grab. I know that this was long form, but if they would have turned the Avengers like these three movies like Infinity War and Endgame into three movies to get the extra money play, it would have fucking ruined it. The
It
fact
would have
that they
ruined it.
were able to do it in two like you're supposed to was fucking perfect. And guess what?
Listen,
$5 billion later, I think they were right.
I think
Yeah.
you're right. I think about where I felt walking out of the end of The Matrix and
Ugh,
where I felt walking out of the end of, the third
Matrix
Matrix movie.
Revolutions. Yeah.
And just like didn't feel the same
Oh,
way.
the
I
first
felt
one, so good.
more walking out of Endgame than I felt walking out of Iron Man, and that's impressive. You
Oh,
know,
everyone
that's
was
impressive to
juiced.
be
Oh,
able to
the
do.
juice. Oh, the juice.
My cons,
Mm,
pretty easy, not a whole lot going on.
mm-hmm.
The time travel is openly silly. I guess I kind
Yeah,
of appreciate that Don
sure.
Cheadle's there just making time travel jokes. Like, what are we
Love the
doing?
sheets. Love the
Yeah,
sheets.
he
But
is
like,
awesome.
none of this makes sense, and it didn't. You know, I've gone back through it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the final fight, and I think we talked about this a little before. Liam alluded to it by us not seeing the Black Order. The final fight was really crowded, man. Like the individual stuff, the Cap, Tony, Thor versus Thanos stuff was really good, but
Oh
everything else
yeah,
was such a mishmash. Like no,
Oh,
we didn't get to really see any of it. We got to see, you know, Spidey swing around a little bit, Black Panther run through a little bit, a little Captain Marvel, a little Valkyrie, but we didn't really get to see. We bring back all of these characters, and we don't really get to see any of them dominate. And that kind of leads to my last con is that I thought they mopped Thanos' crew on Wakanda,
mm-hmm.
and so now we go to the final Endgame battle. It's technically Thanos from like 7 years earlier, so maybe his crew's a little less. And they have so many more players in that fight. They have
yeah.
all of Kamir Taj. They have, you know what I mean? Like they have
Yeah.
everybody involved in this. As a fan, I was like, I thought the Avengers waxed Thanos' crew in Infinity War.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sweating here. And then Captain Marvel shows up, and you're like, well, this should be a stomping,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
we got Giant Man, we got Captain Marvel. I mean, we don't have Vision, I guess, or do we? No, we do. We do.
No, he's
We do.
out then. Nah.
Yeah, no. But I mean, like, just the crew, the versus crew. I thought if they wash Thanos' crew in Infinity War, and they bring twice the crew in Endgame, not a lot of suspense about who was going to win that. It's not a
Yeah.
great con, but it's really all I got for this because there's not a lot of
Yeah.
empty moments in this movie.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Good deal. What else you got? Anything?
No, man, that's it for my pros and cons.
All right, I'm gonna keep it moving. So, okay, my pros. Honestly, guys, it's all kind of same stuff. Emotional payoff, like as a culmination of 22 films, Endgame delivers immense emotional payoffs. Like we all know this, right? And then it's got, dude, as much as, we were talking about a couple small things, there is a lot of fan service done right in this, right? While some, people might
Oh yeah.
argue it has too much, the fan service in Endgame, like the Avengers assemble, Captain America wielding Mjolnir, the portal scene, it's generally executed in a way that feels, kind of earned and incredibly, I mean, it's super impactful, you know. And then focus on character aftermath. The film did spend a significant portion of its runtime exploring the emotional toll of the snap, right? And on the surviving characters. So it allowed for deeper character development and showcasing struggles in their resilience. And then the structure. I mean, as much as you hate a time heist, it did structure it well. But, as
It's
far
as
as
good as you could have done it.
right,
To do a movie with time travel in it as your means to right the
yeah,
wrongs. That's as good as you could possibly do it.
agreed. And then the final battle was more than epic. It was everything, right?
Yeah.
I mean, from the portal sequence to like Cap, Thor, and Iron Man against Thanos with his double handed whammer and just
Yeah.
everything, dude. So good. Couple of cons. Pacing in the first act. The initial hour of the film, while important for character development, can be a bit slow for some people who are eager to, for action. I did love like the opening of it slow with Hawkeye. Opening slow as like a calm before the storm, really plucking the heartstrings. That was phenomenal,
Hmm.
right? But they did have to do some character building, a couple where are we nows, right? Like it's like okay,
Yeah.
Like that AA meeting thing was fine, but it was what it was. And then the time travel logic, as we've said, always a con. you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, iffy.
right? Yeah,
It's hard not to point to that if you're looking
yeah.
for stuff.
Oh, totally. And then underutilization of some characters. While the film focused on the original Avengers, some of the newer or less central characters have limited roles there or development. Like Marvel, Miss Captain Marvel. She's there in the beginning. She saves Tony. She comes in the end. She blows up a ship.
War Machine punched Star Lord, and that was like what he did the whole
Pretty
movie.
much, yeah, pretty much what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made
Uh,
some Back to the Future jokes, and
Yep.
that was about it.
One of the things I will say, since we are comparing like Infinity War to Endgame,
uh,
it is the same villain, but two separate times, right?
Hmm.
yeah.
So Thanos' motivational shift, it's kind of, there, right? The Thanos in Endgame is a past version of the character with a slightly different motivation. Destroying and rebuilding the universe is still kind of the focus, but I think he's gone through more of it by the time we get to Infinity War. So this made him less compelling as a villain in Endgame, just because like Infinity War, he was like dead in the heat of it. He's already committed. Here, he's like, oh, I don't have to do anything. In Endgame, he's like, I've already done this, so I'm good. This is just icing on the cake, in a way, right? And then there is there is some minor plot conveniences to help move the story forward. Like we were saying before, when we ran out of pin particles in New York. Well, I know where we
Yeah.
can get some. Let's
Yeah.
go
Come
see
on.
my dad and Michael Douglas and make sure that
Yeah.
we tie a knot on these things. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So besides that, that's really it. But I'm good if you guys are good to move on to round two and we can vote on this.
I'm good. Let's vote.
All right, let's
Yeah,
hit on the
my only
yeah.
comment is like, again, it's Soul Stone. Like, he had to make the sacrifice in Infinity War to get the Soul Stone.
I hated
In
that we had to do that
Endgame,
twice.
in Endgame,
Yeah.
he shows up. He's like, "Oh, all these idiots put the stones together for me. Great, I'll just take that gauntlet." Can
Yeah.
he even use the Soul Stone? I mean, he didn't give anything for it. I want to know so much more
Dude,
about
that's
the
actually a
Soul
good
Stone.
point.
That is a great point.
They knew from the first one that he showed up and took Gamora and then came by
Yeah,
himself. So
Yeah.
why would they send those two together, knowing that only one can come back?
only one could come return. Yeah,
Right.
They didn't research that point before they went there.
I got so
Yeah.
many Soul Stone questions that span
Yeah.
I
across
would have
both
loved.
movies. They're neither pros nor cons for either. I just have Soul Stone questions.
Does it have? And it has to be someone you love to sacrifice, right?
It seems to be the. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what Red
I
Skull
was gonna
says.
say
Like,
it would have been nice if they would have been able to capture like say for instance they love the person now, right? But didn't love them back then. So if they were gonna go back in time, they could get someone that they eventually would love, but get them person back in time when they didn't love them and kill them. You know. So it's
what if it
kind of
was
like
just
a loophole.
what if just Steve Rogers throwing 80-year-old Peggy Carter off a cliff? You know what I
Oh
mean?
God.
Like,
That'd be pretty great.
that would have been
Okay.
intense.
Yep.
Nice. Great. Oh, great touch though for the Soul Stone. So okay, that does it for round one. Let's head on to round two. Round two. Fight. All right, we're gonna give our votes. This is round two where we're gonna vote, and the movie with the majority vote moves on to be our first finalist. I will be the third in deciding vote since we're on the semifinals. Lashmoosh, go ahead, Daddy. Hit us with your best shot. Fire away.
All right. I think it is perfect that these two movies are going up against each other because it's kind of all one story, cut in
Mhm.
half. So one of these
Mhm.
has to go on because it just wouldn't make sense for it to be in the final.
Yeah.
Now, I thought at first I would like one that I had one more, like overwhelmingly, I knew which one I would like. But it's a lot closer than you think it is when you go back and watch them. They're both really good movies. If I have to pick one, though, it has to be Infinity War. Infinity War has more of, and my reason is this: Infinity War, you get more of the dialogue from Thanos, and you get more of like I don't know. It seems like the stakes are high in all of them, but it just seems like they're just up against it more. There's more, it just seems more important. I know they're both important, but kind of it's more of like an uphill battle, and that kind of makes the fact that it's more of a struggle, I think, makes it a better fight, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So I say my vote is Infinity War for that reason. Is that it's just the harder fought battle, I think, and they lose, so that's definitely the harder fought battle.
Agreed. All right. Benoit, Payud, Kissay. Talk to me, Daddy.
I think Liam's dead on. I think he's totally right. I think the rompability of Infinity War, of the battles they go through, and the way we see these teams kind of coming together and like coalescing, teams that we're not used to watching, different pair ups, is one of the most fun things the MCU has ever done. But I think that Tony Stark is the way, the truth, and the light for the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think the way he was portrayed early, the way he was portrayed throughout, the way he came back, and the way we eventually lost him is the most impactful thing we see in this series. It perfectly sets up a Spider-Man movie. It perfectly sets up the two best television shows that Marvel has done, which I think were WandaVision and Loki. And for that reason, going forward, my vote is for Avengers Endgame.
Dude, and I can't even argue that. You know what I mean?
It's
That's
so
how
tough.
close these movies are. That
Yeah, they're razor
I
thin.
can't even argue and say yes, I picked Infinity War, but he's wrong for picking Endgame. It's
Yeah.
so hard to argue that
Yeah.
point.
Razor thin. Razor thin.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we go, boys. Here we go. Okay. So, for me, right? Uh, it comes down to like the sheer audacity and unparalleled impact, right? Infinity War shattered the traditional superhero movie mold by having its villain, Thanos, unequivocally win, right? Like, this was a seismic shift, leaving audiences in genuine shock and despair, and it's a feeling like rarely achieved in any franchise ever, right? But Endgame, it provided a cathartic revolution. It did. Resolution. It did. Right? But for me, I'd have to say the winner and moving on to the finals is Avengers Infinity War. The pacing is relentless, a masterclass of weaving together dozens of characters across multiple storylines without ever feeling bloated or exhausted. Thanos is a deeply compelling antagonist, and the movie, in many ways, is his story. Making his twisted motivations understandable, if not sometimes agreeable. You know, so it's Infinity War that delivered the gut punch, the genuine stakes, and the lasting emotional resonance that truly elevated the entire saga. Right? Like, would we have cared as much about Endgame if Infinity War didn't kick our
Ooh,
fucking
lucky.
dicks off? Right? We
I
wouldn't
agree.
have. So it dared to go dark and unpredictable, making Endgame's eventual triumph all the more meaningful. Right? Infinity War is the superior film for its bold storytelling and devastating conclusion, and that's that. Moving on to the finals, Avengers Infinity War, and next week we'll be deciding who will be joining it in the finals. Will it be either Guardians of the Galaxy or Captain America the Winter Soldier? Wow. What an end to the first match in the
Yeah.
semifinals. Really good stuff. We're getting out of here, gang. Lishmoosh, what do you got before we rowdy five?
I just think it is amazing that Endgame lost twice to two monster movies.
Yeah.
Like
Talk about double
that's
elimination.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And for it to come back as like our Money in the Bank.
Right.
It's man, any other movie, it probably advances. And like
Yeah.
there was other setups that
Think
it could
about
have
the
made
two it
it, but
lost
it
to,
just
though.
yeah.
You know, like it lost
Yeah.
the Winter Soldier and lost Infinity War.
Yeah.
Hey,
these
and
are-
you know what? Props to us too, by the way, for doing an honest representation. I did not have Endgame in my Money in the Bank last week.
No.
It's the one I ended up picking here. I mean,
Yeah.
it just shows
Yeah.
you styles
What
make
was it?
fights. Man.
Ragnarok was the other one? You had
I went
Ragnarok?
I went Ragnarok and Black Panther, but like,
Which was a great choice.
and our monster movies. We have all the best movies
Yeah.
are left. That's
Yeah.
why these are so interesting now, because
Yeah.
there's no
How do
weak
you
movies
choose?
left. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
there's not a bad there's not even a mediocre movie left. There are
Exactly.
No.
3
They're all
exceptional
monsters.
films
Yep.
left
Yeah.
in this contest.
Oh yeah.
So, yep. Fern, you good?
I'm good, baby.
All right, we'll tune in next week for the last match of the semifinals. It's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy versus Captain America Winter Soldier. But speaking of the Winter Soldier, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Ask AI. I'm Matt Lavelle. He's Liam Reese. He's Burn Podcasty. And in case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content and all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Yeah, also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. Join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. And if you'd like to be on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe. We'll keep bringing you this incredible content. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks. See you.